Well, good evening, everybody. The intro went a little bit longer than I expected. I think I got that set up a little wrong. Ooh, boy, my Ukraine shirt kind of washed out there, but that's okay. Well, how's everybody doing tonight? It's been kind of an interesting week that we've had going on here, and I think what I'm going to do is right off the bat, I'm going to get into one interesting post that Mr. Holmseth put up on his uh, BitChute. Now, okay, I'm just trying to figure something out here. He decided that I look like Whitey Bulger, who is this um, individual that was a gangster of some sort way back when. He died a long time ago, and he would have been 90 years old if he existed today. Needless to say, he's dead, and I don't know if the audio is going to come through on this, but I'm going to see. But what he did here is he actually took a recording of my live stream and put it on the BitChute with the um, description you see there. And he got things wrong, but we'll get into that a little bit in a little while. Let me see if this is going to work. And apparently it's not going to work. Well, it's playing, but the audio's not coming through. Not unexpected. But but as you recall, when I did the Operation Chaos, I went up to the FBI, but I don't recall ever giving the details of the 4-hour interview I did there. Um, if I did, then I did. But still, and then he gets into the thing. But the thing of it is Mr. Holmseth um, has got an obsession with me. Um, far, as everyone knows, this is a relatively small channel. Far from, that's. Uh, I'm going to be discussing that, Michael. That's one of the subjects of tonight's show. I just wanted to get this little bit of nonsense out of the way. But for whatever reason that I haven't been able to figure out, Timmy decided that I looked like this gangster guy. And I really don't know what the big deal is with that. Number one, I don't think I do. But why bring this guy up? I mean, unless he's inferring I'm in the mob or something. But, he has put up a boatload, excuse the pun, there's going to be a reason for that, a boatload of stuff that Timmy has put up all over the internet, once again, about me. Now, what's amazing about this is if you go over to his BitChute channel, you note that he has thousands upon thousands of subscribers, and I've got, I think, maybe I don't know, 1,171 or something like that. So you get, you wonder what is it about this channel that's got Timmy so upset and has it to where his constant I don't know, obsession with me, why, the reason for all the gang stalking, why the high command will come over here and do her thing. But it may have something to do with this. There has been a lawsuit going on between Randy Erickson, Craig Sawyer, Robert Hammer, and Kimmel Picazio. And this order was filed a while back, the 29th. And it went through all the things that Randy Erickson had said in the her filing. Randy filed had said some things, and Craig had, this has been basically a back and forth. Sorry about the word scramble here, but I'm reading and commenting at the same time. But as you can see, this is a filing by um, the lawyer for the three plaintiffs against Mrs. Erickson. And it goes down through and goes through all of this things. And what I'm doing is I'm scrolling. So if at any time you play the recording and you want to go through and read this, you can do it. Plus the actual documents are floating around. Now what's interesting is there's been absolutely no comment on BitChute, Telegram, or any other place that these individuals have set up their social media propaganda sites. And what is important about this is the filing that the lawyer made regarding this activity, and goes through and states that basically Randy Erickson doesn't know what the hell she's doing. And so the lawyer is saying that they want the restraining order to continue, and they also want to go ahead with the lawsuit. And so this is what the lawyer signed, starting with number 1. Plaintiff Randy Lynn Erickson's complaint is dismissed without prejudice for lack of subject matter jurisdiction. Now, Craig lawyer's motion to dismiss the complaint is denied as moot, as is Robert Hammer's motion. It's basically because, with the denial of Erickson's original complaint, there is no reason for it. And number 4, Erickson's motion for miscellaneous relief, number 28, is denied. Erickson's motion to disqualify, ECF number 30, is denied. Erickson's application for emergency temporary restraining order, ECF number 36, is denied. Now, I believe this last one contained in part her demand to know who was behind the Deep State Dave Twitter account, which I found rather interesting because I was under the impression that was a creation of Timothy Charles Holmseth, and that Timothy Charles Holmseth, or one of his handlers, is actually Deep State Dave pretending to harass Timothy Holmseth so that he can perpetuate his drama. So, there we have it. That. Now, one other curious thing came out that I thought I had up here. I gotta go to the proper area. And that is that Lynn Wood apparently made a post about people pretending to be there in order to gain money for various causes having to do with the rescue of children from various things. And Lynn Wood said this: I would urge you to exercise a high level of discernment before donating to any charity or foundation, including those which claim to be seeking funds to support efforts to save children or advance the cause of freedoms. You may find that your funds are actually being used for efforts dramatically opposed to what these organizations purport to be supporting. I hope you only donate your hard-earned money to trust organizations or individuals. Do the research first. Now, as many times as Homseth has stated that he supports Lynn Wood and Myers and Lynn Wood, and that there's been, what shall we say, communications between Lynn Wood and Timothy Charles Homseth. Lynn Wood actually hasn't said much about it. He actually stated emphatically that he supports Craig Sawyer and his work, and not mentioning Tim Homseth at all, other than to state that somebody had sent the post that Tim Homseth made, and he posted it only because somebody else had sent it to him. Now, in another bit of interesting things going on is over on Timothy Charles Homseth's Gab page, I believe this is where it came from. He is attacking someone named Linda Paris. And he writes that she claims to have high-level military intel contacts, and Mert is calling in the heavies. Now, again, I don't have the best memory in the world, so I'm trying to figure out who the hell Linda Paris is. But apparently she is attached to some way to Gerald Bromell, who is in jail facing trial in Canada. Now, Linda Paris keeps pushing a lie that I stole $750,000 from Brunel. Now, this is a new one. At last report, the $750,000 had to do with Phil McConnell. So now we have it having to do with Brumell. Now, keep this in mind, because I'm going to make a point about this claim and others as we get farther along. I wish somebody would tell my bank account that. So Tim Holmes is stating that he has a bank account, which is interesting because he has to live somewhere in order to have that account. And that'll be interesting because in any future lawsuit where Tim Homseth is involved, there may be a discovery motion to have access to that account, so the plaintiffs in whatever lawsuit comes up can track who he has been getting money from and where his money is going. They are also claiming that Randy Lynn Erickson stole money. LOL. Erickson is 62 with zero criminal history and so many licenses I can't claim them all. The last I knew, the only license that Randy Lynn Erickson has is as a real estate broker. And I don't understand what other licenses she has. But that is, what is in here. And but ask Linda Paris, and she'll tell you that Randy Erickson, who is not a convicted felon for fraud, is the one stealing money, as Paris publicly supports a convicted felon who has been convicted and done more prison time for fraud. LOL. This apparently has to do with Brother Al, who was the originator of what would become the Children's Crusade, and we all know the story behind that one. Now, we continue. Now, I don't know who Kristen Weldon is alive, and she is traveling on a yacht on the Gulf of Mexico along with me and Randy Lynn Erickson. Now, keep that in mind here. Linda Paris is actually spreading that crap. I wonder if Paris is in trouble and she knows it. You can't make this up. LOL. Now, this is something to... William K. Murtaugh is pushing the same stupid crap about me and a yacht. Murtaugh traveled from Florida to Minnesota and gave the FBI a 4-hour presentation at their headquarters about me and a yacht. Pay close attention to this paragraph. The latest that William K. Murtaugh, a.k.a. Jim Leahy, Trailer Park Boys, claims to be having big meetings with the Department of Homeland Security, IRS, U.S. Secret Service, and the FBI, all in the same room, all at the same time. I'd like to know where I said that one. And, at the bottom he says, Murtaugh can go into a dollar store and buy a toothbrush. So, again, he's with the personal attacks. Now, let me go back to rant number 1. And if you would pay attention to the very top left-hand corner where it says Timothy Charles Homseth, you're going to notice that Timothy Charles Homseth is standing in front of a yacht. Now, what started my inquiry of this particular fact is that way back when Timothy Charles Homseth took a picture of himself in front of a yacht. And the important thing about that yacht is that the yacht was for sale. And as I described when I originally did a segment about the yacht, which is in the video that I showed you earlier, where I couldn't get the audio to work. All Tim did, by the way, was re-record that session clearly in an amateurish manner and put it in that video over on BitChute. And basically it's my repeating why I felt Timothy Charles Homseth was looking at yachts. And he not only took pictures of that yacht, which a week later got put up for sale and somebody bought it, but he put up more pictures of him standing in front of a yacht that was for sale. And again, there has been inquiries made into that yacht immediately after Homseth put the post up about it. And then he posted a third image of himself in the front of a yacht that was for sale. And it just was coincidental, I suppose, that it had a Trump flag on it. But the fact of the matter is that there are 3 photos of Tim Homseth in front of yachts for sale. And one was sold a week after his picture was taken to someone anonymously in what is a fairly unusual way of selling watercraft. And it's always sailboats. It's not power boats. And this brings up an interesting question is, why would Tim Homseth be looking at sailboats for sale? Tim Homseth has no experience sailing a boat. He's never discussed sailing a boat. He just puts depictions. And here we go again. Task Force has come in here, and she stands with Russia, which is no surprise because she supports a man who is indiscriminately killing civilians and children. Now, the task force is supposed to be someone who is for the safety and protection of children. And yet, Vladimir Putin and his troops from Russia are indiscriminately killing innocent women and children throughout Ukraine. They're bombing hospitals, they are bombing schools, and yet here is Task Force saying they are okay with the killing of children, the bombing of schools, the bombing of hospitals, civilian targets, ordinary people. And the people can't even run away from the country. Vladimir Putin is chasing these people down as they're evacuating and murdering them. The guy is a war criminal. And here is the task force, who is a traitor to this country, supporting a sworn enemy of the United States. So, there is proof, positive, that we are dealing with a foreign agent. Oh, I knew this was coming. Fake judge. Now, Randy filed with this same judge. Why would she file all this paperwork with a fake judge? You know, this is how stupid these people are. So, and you know, this refuse to be cargo on dry dock. So I gather by that Randy Lynn Erickson is going to decline to show up at the trial, just like Mr. Daniel Lee did, and that ought to be interesting. I hope she doesn't show up at the trial. Number one, I wouldn't have to go up to the. But I want to, I got sidetracked by this person that's not even supposed to be in here. She has been told 100 times that she's not welcome here. But, see, they have nothing on their, yes, I can and I have. Apparently, and this is the thing, Task Force, you can sit there and make all these claims, but where's the paperwork that says you pass these background checks? Just, you say a lot of things, but you don't prove it. I haven't seen a copy of your current real estate license, and I certainly haven't seen all these licenses that Timmy said, or whoever's running that account, said about all these licenses. You only need one license to be a real estate broker. I don't understand what is with all these licenses. I mean, big deal. So you're a real estate broker. The owner of E-Clause was a real estate broker. I mean, I personally know dozens of real estate brokers. So what? That doesn't make you anything special. And I think if you were to do a professional grade investigation, which your investigative reporter is clearly incapable of doing, you would find that I do have certain licenses. But, you're not here for any serious discussion. You're here to do a gang stalk. You're doing personal attacks against innocent people. And, that is all you are capable of doing. You are not a legitimate task force. You are a fantasy that was made up over a kitchen table as a way to get money from a bunch of gullible people over on Telegram and on BitChute. You've got people brainwashed into thinking you're something you're not. And those people apparently are too stupid to realize it. Anonymous Antifa. I got news for you. I love Task Force. This woman is so stupid. It isn't funny. Anonymous has nothing to do with Antifa. They don't, I don't know where you come up with this stuff. Why? See, this is the thing. Task Force doesn't make any sense. Um, and why bring Antifa into this? Because Antifa had nothing to do with what happened in that trial. This was about somebody molesting a minor. You understand, Task Force? Two individuals went on trial for molesting a teenage girl. They were charged with digital rape. You might want to do some research into this case because it sounds to me like you are supporting these two young men raping a child, an underage. Oh, here we go with the name calling again. Now we got defamation going on here with Task Force claiming people are eating babies. Michael, that's a good point. There is a allegation that the husband's illness was faked. That he not only was not poisoned, that he did not have symptoms akin to poisoning. He wasn't sick to begin with. It was something that was allegedly made up in order to try and trick the court into granting her petition, which, by the way, as I just stated, was dismissed. And this woman who declares that she will not be in dry dock filed with the very same court for this petition. Well, you can file a DMCA for that. Well, this is what I have determined through several sources, a few of them from the state of Minnesota. And that is that she basically lied to the court in order to try and trick the court into granting the petition, which was denied. She has lost every request. She's lost every case in the court. I like this exchange that just happened. Here's Leanne, tell the truth about the Reagans. I have. That was short. And I want to get back to something that was in the rant. I'm sorry I'm going all over the map with this, but I'm getting sidetracked. But we go down to the rant. Now, the thing I want to point out here is something that he said. This paragraph right here is very important. Murtaugh traveled from Florida to Minnesota and gave the FBI a 4-hour presentation at their headquarters about me and a yacht. Now, the interesting thing about this... Okay, that's not going to work. So, the interesting about this is when I went to Minnesota as part of the PPT, or part of my documentary. This was actually, I went there to do a documentary about Phil McConnell and his studio, and also to show various locations of interest in the state of Minnesota. And I happened to be able to do this because there was a request for me to go to Minnesota and talk to the FBI. Now, what's important about this is the yacht. The picture that Tim Homseth had posted, the very first one, where he's standing in front of a yacht that was for sale in, I believe it was Alabama, was done after I had been to Minnesota and after I had completed the Chaos Project. So if I had gone to Minnesota to talk to the FBI about the yacht, did Tim Homseth time travel back to before I went to the FBI with this yacht? Or did Tim Homseth just commit a Freudian slip, excuse the pronunciation, and actually had been looking at yachts around the same time I was in Minnesota? This would be a revelation, because this would mean that Timothy Charles Homseth allegedly was shopping for yachts right around the time he decided to skip out on his trial. So there may be a confession here accidentally by Homseth that he has been looking into the purchase of these yachts for quite a long time. Now, what was going on back then? What was going on was that Cynthia Abzug was on a sightseeing tour around the United States, even wound up in Florida talking to E-Claus, and went right through the very same place that Tim Homseth was looking at yachts on her way to Arkansas. Now, could it be that Tim Homseth, for some weird reason, was shopping for yachts so that they could get Cynthia Abzug out of the country with her children? You know, Cynthia Abzug had allegedly received a piece of paper saying she had some kind of diplomatic passport, or at the very least, some kind of passport which would allow her to get out of the country. And we know that Phil McConnell was involved with Cynthia Abzug. He's had her on her show. He even posted the medical condition of her son, and so on and so forth. And so we have this spear connection with Tim Homseth, Cynthia Abzug, and yachts. And so, you know, this might be why Tim Homseth is so upset about me constantly bringing up him with a yacht, because he's mad that I am discussing the yachts and his connection to the yachts, but he's not explaining why he traveled hundreds of miles to take pictures in front of at least 3 yachts, and 3 yachts that were for sale. This is a guy, again, who has absolutely no sailing experience. He has no experience whatsoever operating a watercraft. Oh, Task Force, does this mean that you bought the yacht? I don't have a use for a yacht, by the way. They're I don't know how to sail a boat. Now, yeah, at one time, before people started trashing me and ruined my business, I had planned on buying a Trojan, a 26, 30-foot Trojan, because I like boats. I do have a small boat, but, I'm not jealous of any yacht. I mean, if I was jealous of yachts, there's millions of people in the world that own yachts, and they own sailboats, and boats, you know. Why waste my time? I can't afford it anyway. I'm on Social Security, so I ain't going to be buying any yachts anytime soon. So, but the fact in the rant that the author of the letter got so many things wrong indicates to me that Timothy Charles Homeseth did not write that rant on the Gab account, that someone is doing the writing for him. It's the same with the High Command. It's Task Force, the High Command, TimothyCharlesHomeseth.com. Timothy Charles Homeseth is not writing any of that. He is not making the videos. He is out of here. He's not in the picture. The only time you see Timothy Charles Homeseth, if at all, is when he is making selfies of himself in front of buildings and boats. That's it. Where is Fireman John? Well, I guess you managed to run him off. Just like, that's your purpose, is to get rid of this channel, Task Force. You don't like me being on the air. I have got 17 people watching this, and you're one of them. And you're recording every second of this show. And because of you making false accusations against firemen and other people, I can't grow this channel, which is exactly what you want. You want to suppress my free speech. You want to disable my ability to be on this channel defending myself against these weird accusations that Tim Homeseth made. Tim Homeseth is I keep saying Tim Homeseth. It's not Tim Homeseth. It's the propaganda group that is running the Task Force channel. But there is dozens upon dozens upon dozens upon dozens of videos about me with all these false accusations by this group that have been made for close to a decade. And why hasn't Tim Homeseth or why hasn't Randy Erickson called the Orange County, Florida Sheriff's Department? I put up the telephone number for the Orange County Sheriff's Department and nobody's called. They have told me that when somebody calls in about me with these allegations that have been made, they will call me. Nobody has called the Orange County Sheriff's Department. Nobody has called the Maitland FBI. Nobody's called the Orlando FBI. Nobody's called anybody. Nobody's called the Apopka Police Department. Nobody's called the Orlando Police Department. Nobody's called the Orange County State Attorney's Office. None of that. Linda Paris is another barfly. You mean that Linda Paris is a lawyer? Oh, interesting. But, this is the thing here. This is such a small channel that it is hard to understand where the obsession is, or the reason behind the obsession for this channel. I criticized Tim Homeseth. Big deal. Timothy Homeseth has put himself in the limelight. He has put himself up there. Excuse me. And so he is subject to criticism. He is representing himself as a... No, that's quite true, Michael. There is no police report on any alleged poisoning of her husband. But, since Task Force is in here, I would love for her to explain why this Whitey Bulger was attached to me. I'm literally scratching my head trying to figure this one out. I mean, I don't get it. I mean, is it just to create a headline? Yeah, I guess it is. I mean, just number one, I don't look at all like this guy. If you've ever seen a picture of Whitey Bulger, you would see that there's no resemblance. But, that's beside the point. What's happening, though, is people over on Telegram are disputing it. They're saying, what's the deal with this Whitey Bulger? The guy doesn't look anything like him. But, he had to generate a headline, or whoever's running the page has to generate a headline. And so they came up with this weirdness about Whitey Bulger. No, Marlene. Hi, Alex, by the way. No, Marlene, what I was doing, it's a little difficult to multitask here. I was looking at, over on the left side of my screen, I've got the High Command Telegram page open. And, so, what the hell is that? So I'm not paying that much attention to the chat. Every once in a while I'll glance at it. A lot of times the chat's not even doing much of anything. But let's see, we got, say, I look like Whitey Bulger, and what else is he? They're after the Masons. And the 30th, we got the poison thing. With that, the lawsuit was thrown out. But on the 28th, does Minnesota operative alleged serial killer look like old Whitey Bulger, a progression folder? And no. But this is just the latest example of why Timothy Charles Holmseth is not an investigative reporter, because he has his facts so screwed up that it's clear to anyone the chances are zero, task force. We discovered who Radio News was, and it's not Alex Goddard. It's a woman who used to be a telephone operator, who was a recluse in the suburb of Georgia. And what's funny about that claim by Task Force, who is clearly an idiot, is that Radio News attacked Alex Goddard, Kim Bacasio, myself, and others once her identity was revealed. And this, this is another lie that these people put out there. Number one, the Finders doesn't exist anymore. They haven't existed for a long, long time. And what is this deal between your obsession with people and children? I mean, there are millions upon millions upon millions of people that do not have children. I mean, what is the deal here? Why is this even important to you? Well, see, this is, Whitey was an informant. Now, I can't claim to be an informant. If people want to say I'm FBI informant, knock yourselves out. I mean, the task force has me as an agent for the Central Intelligence Agency, which is a clear sign they don't know how the CIA works. Yeah, she is a pervert, or he is a pervert. I mean, this is ridiculous. I think it's funny that, you know, I guess she wants Levi, who is not married, to go out and knock some chick up and have a kid, just like Timothy Charles Holseth. And it's a fact. Timothy Charles Holmseth has fathered children and was not and is not married to any of the mothers. Yeah, so there's that. Yeah, task force, if it's who we think it is, she won't admit to that being her account. But she is in her 60s, and so she's not capable of having kids anymore, biologically. Yeah, that's a pretty fair question. She probably doesn't want to be in this dry dock thing, so she'll skip court. Cross your fingers that she skips court. Yeah, we wouldn't want her to be on this dry dock thing, so hopefully she'll skip court. That'll that'll be the joke of the day. Oh, they think about private parts all the time. That's Oh, hi Paula. Uh, yeah, we can assume that because she refers to herself all the time with I have the licenses and I this, I that. So, um, that's quite true because this is in the federal court system. Um, one of these cases is in federal court, the other case is in state court. So, the this would be a felony contempt of court. This isn't like Timmy. This is a far more serious thing because this is a civil law. This is a civil lawsuit, uh, and so and the thing of it is part of discovery when the trial comes about, she has to file what all her licenses are, along with any employment she has or companies she owns and so on. And so that means that she's got to put on paper that she is the trustee and publisher of TimothyCharlesHolmeseth.com, which makes her civilly liable about anything that has been stated on these accounts. And she also has to state that she is the owner of the High Command and the task force, and that makes her civilly liable as well for those writings. And there's the Pentagon Pedophile Task Force over on Telegram, and she would have to declare if she doesn't own it, who does? Because she has a third party posting stuff on her behalf and on Timmy's behalf on these accounts. And they would also have to indicate who is the actual owner of the Timothy Charles Holmseth uh, Telegram account. So there's a lot of things that has to come out in the court proceeding. Now turning to this, okay, we don't have. Oh, I know they put all that over on Telegram. Um, yeah, and there's. Let's see, I don't know if I brought that into the room. Oh, yes, I did. Now, what I want to do is I want to put up something that was sent to me, and that is from someone we all know. And we have this about Truth Seeker. Um, and this is from The Time Has Come, Astrowax, and this was on March 16th. Truth Seeker, if you still read this timeline, have you come to your senses yet, or do you still idolize Holmseth? Do you really think Holmseth cares about his supporters? Do you approve of what they did to Phil McConnell? Now, what's interesting about this account is this woman at one time idolized and supported Tim Holmseth. And the fact that she has made a statement that she is accusing Tim Holmseth of not caring for his supporters is extraordinary coming from her and who she is. At one time, Astro didn't believe that Tim Holmseth could do no wrong. Now, I answered this question before, and I can limit to say this. There is an investigation ongoing, but I cannot comment about the nature of the investigation, what they are looking at, or why. It's pretty obvious as to why I can't. But the investigation that she is speaking of is ongoing. Now, this is where some of this information is coming from. David Street, a former Holmseth associate, is allegedly cooperating with the Department of Justice investigation. PPTF associates are also under investigation. Holmseth claims Randy Erickson committed perjury. Reports indicate that the DOJ is investigating Timothy Charles Holmseth of the PPTF. It is time for him to do the right thing. Now, again, this is someone that supports Tim Holmseth, or used to. She was the strongest supporter of Tim Holmseth. Okay, we have fake judge. Okay, now this is strange because this is the judge that is going to hear Randy's lawsuit. Now she's calling the judge that is going to listen to her lawsuit fake. See, this is where the task force is preparing the spin because she knows she is going to lose that case. Now, see, the problem Randy has is that no matter who you take this in front of, any judge in the country that follows the law, you are going to lose, and you are going to lose big. And this was a judge that was appointed by the former president. So she is claiming that the former president of the United States, whom she claims to support, is appointing fake judges. Now, that's weird. Here, all these people are supporting the former president. They're supporting Lynn Wood. And yet, the judge that is going to hear these lawsuits is a fake. Why, if this is the case, why file the lawsuits to begin with? You might as well just withdraw the lawsuit because it's going before a fake judge and you're going to lose. What gives? I mean, this is this is what's strange about these people. They sit there and they boast, oh, we got this lawsuit going on against Randy Erickson, Kim, and this other guy. But they're doing it in a fake court in front of a fake judge. Why do that? I'd love to hear an explanation for that. Upside down world, hello. Oh my God. I love the picture there. That's a trip. I thought maybe Randy opened another account there for a minute. But anyway, we have the stuff that makes absolutely no sense going on over there. I'm just trying to figure out. Oh, okay. Now, I want to go through some of the comments over there. Um, Now, the one thing I found about the channel over there is these people are anti Semitic. They hate Jews. So anybody that is Jewish or knows somebody Jewish, like uh, Donald Trump's daughter, um, they they don't approve of them. And so far, the comments on the latest video about me looking like Whitey Bulger, it's not going well for Timmy. He's getting a lot of negative comments over there. This is something that this actually started a little bit with Field McConnell. I mean, this dry dock nonsense and all this hooky stuff going on. That was something started by Field McConnell and Smirky Kirky and some other people. And they just, they come up with this weird crap. And, they're over there pretending to be part of the group over there. And they're actually not. They're playing those people for suckers. And Tim Homseth isn't even the one behind all the writing. It's all being done by surrogates. Timothy Charles Homseth is nothing more than a figurehead. Well, the chat's getting very active. Poor task force. Thought this was interesting. But, task force has yet to answer any questions that I have directed towards her, which is, she's scared to, for number one, because she doesn't want to put herself on the record. But, you have basically a Russian spy in here because the task force, the Pentagon Pedophile Task Force, and Timothy Charles Homseth has expressed that they are allied with an enemy of the United States, and that is Vladimir Putin. So that makes Timothy Charles Homseth a war criminal. And one thing Timothy Charles Homseth is not is a war correspondent. I don't know. It's probably the same reason Upside Down World that she's obsessed about the inside of my mobile home. Even though she refuses to show the inside of wherever it is she lives at. Marlene, I think people are finally beginning to understand that these people simply make things up out of thin air. No evidence, nothing to back it up. They just throw this stuff up there because they figure if they can get one person out of 10 or 20 to believe what they say, they've accomplished something. And they're getting money from these people, and lots of it, which is wire fraud. But, Yeah, she's here. She's been blocked so many times that I can't count, but she comes in anyway because she's desperate for attention. Um, my room is the only place that they can come up with stuff to go over on BitChute and publish. Oh, here we go. Now she wants to know who the woman is. Well, the woman, people know who she is. I'm not gonna, you refuse to answer my question, so I'm not gonna answer yours. But everybody knows who she is. That's the lack of research that you do. Well, maybe Paula will sue you for that one. Yeah, that's the explanation is that they clone all these people. I mean, I'm surprised they haven't used that excuse to explain why JFK Jr. is alive. I mean, these people know nothing about science, the current state of science, to even make such a ridiculous claim. But you can't argue with stupid. I mean, stupid is what keeps that channel going. Because these people, they're not right in the head. They are mentally depraved. Well, your statement that Field might be one of the heroes, you're the one that put him off the air. You know, if you had left Field alone to do his thing and not brought Tim Holmseth's weirdness into Field's orbit, Field McConnell would be on the air right now. They're not going to put Field statues anywhere because he's basically gone. Uh, you know, and that rests squarely on the shoulders of the PPTF who ruined Field McConnell. Yeah, and I have read the statement and heard the statement, so that's you know, he can have no contact with Tim Homseth. Period. Um, and this is the thing. More and more people are beginning to understand that it was Tim Homseth's obsession with Kim Picasio that brought that down. Uh, I got news for you, Task Force. You've been to Field's house. How does one drive by Field's house? It's a half-mile off the road in the woods. You can't see the house from the road. All you see are trees, a gate with a sign. That is a public highway. Public. Anybody can drive by there many times as they want. Now, I can't turn left and go into his driveway, but I can drive back and forth across in front of his house all day long if I wanted to. You, on the other hand, threatened to come onto private property and park in front of my house. That's a different thing altogether. The police have been notified, and if you do come anywhere near my house and my cameras catch it, you're going to jail. So there. Well, it is silly, Jonathan. The whole thing is silly. I mean, the um, High Command channel, or whatever the hell it is over on um, there's security footage of me. Well, why don't you post the security footage and explain to me how I was able to get through get on the property? Yeah, I would love to know this. Show the footage. This is, how long has it been since I've been to Minnesota and the when I did the Chaos Project, and you're just now making this accusation along with all the other accusations that you make? Love to know that one. Let's see the security footage. I love how Randy makes these accusations, pile them on there. No proof. None. Glastronaut, hello there. How you doing? And by the way, Randy, just so you know, the house at the time that I was in Minnesota was going through foreclosure. And as someone had gone to the bank and said they are interested in taking a quick look at the property to see if it was something that they would want to bid on in the foreclosure auction, the bank has the right to give permission to do that. Now, your real estate broker and suppliers, you didn't know that, but what can I say? Yeah, I'd be curious. Yeah, I'll be curious to see that video, Paula. Here we go with more accusations. Why was Alexander Goddard was attending a trial, which in this country, if there is a trial, you can attend the trial. And Tim Holmsath at the time was a wanted fugitive. There is still a warrant out for his arrest. Why did Tim Holmsath skip court? Why is Tim Holmsath afraid to come to court and defend himself? Oh, okay. See, I don't know anything about the finders. What in the hell? Where is Just Reagan, Early McGregor? What the hell is that all about? Yeah, well, that's the thing about it. See, Randy supports Russia, and in Russia you have to have permission to do a lot of things, including travel. Yeah, just a hell of a want to see if there's any changes. I doubt it, but I'm going to check anyway. Because we're not the Cynthia or the Neely Blanchard trial has been moved to at least August. So we're not going to be doing much there. And let's see. Nope, no changes. The 23rd is the last entry for the Blanchard trial. Jury selection scheduled for August 22nd, 2022. So we're looking at August 22nd as the earliest that we're going to have a hearing or have a trial of Neely Blanchard. Now, I have had word again that Cynthia Absug might be looking into making some kind of a deal with the prosecution in her case, so that may not even go to trial. Phew, probably. Okay. Now, she's making a comment about Levi Page. It's a personal attack. I'm not going to post it. But this is supposed to be a representative of a task force that Melania Trump created. Originally, they said Donald Trump. Now it's Melania. And this is the kind of people that the Trumps employ. Now, this says a lot about the Trumps. Yeah, there was, I have talked to Tina Turch a long time ago, and yes, she wanted to sue uh, all of those people, but, it's the problem with civil lawsuits to do it properly is a very expensive thing. You need a barfly, and I can't afford a barfly. I'm on Social Security, so, which is lucky for Randy. Levi's thighs are Judge and Mert no. Huh? Yeah, somebody's getting really drunk out there because this stuff the task force is saying makes no sense at all. But nothing that they say makes any sense anyway, so what can I say? Okay, let me go get it and I'll bring it into the room. Alright. Okay, let me go back in here. I guess about, I'd say 45 minutes ago, this nonsense was posted on Timmy's Gab page, I believe. And I'm trying to get it in here. And, you know, this obsession that Timmy has with me, and there's something else interesting I'm going to show you here since we're talking about houses. If this thing ever loads. Well, I'm going to go into the chat while this is loading. I thought it was I thought this was Donald Trump's task force. And nobody in either Melania's or Donald Trump has ever heard of either one of you people. You're doing all this on your own. Yeah, the legit task force is not the Pentagon pedophile task force. It's not a legitimate task force. Let's see what we got over here. Now, this is remember what was said about Field McConnell's house. This is in the lower left-hand corner, my house. This house is on private property. Now, I posted this picture because Randy was going to come by and take a picture of my house. I turned around and took a picture of it. Now, again, this is actually a better picture of it. Up in the top left-hand corner is a picture of Timothy Charles Holmseth in front of a yacht that is for sale. So, again, here is this obsession that these people have with me. This rinky-dink little channel. I've got 20 people watching. I've got roughly a little more than 1,000 people on my list. They have their propaganda site over there is got in the thousands, and so but they are obsessed with me. I am on their mind 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. Okay, now this is interesting. Actionable intelligence. Randy will be placed on Mount Rushmore Memorial. You all watch Bar Price. We are talking about Randy in the third person. Now, this is supposed to be Randy's account. So why isn't, instead of actionable intelligence, it should be I will be placed on Mount Rushmore. But if this is not Randy, then of course they would say Randy. So who is running task force? That's a good question here. This is what will have to be disclosed in any lawsuit lodged against the task force, Pentagon Pedophile Task Force, the High Command, all that. The owners of these websites are going to be known. And so other people that have been subjects of their slander and defamation will be able to know specifically who to sue. Stop. What? Oh. Well, what's funny about David Strait is there was a thing that was done where JFK Jr. was supposed to be helicoptered to Mount Rushmore, which would have been a neat trick because Mount Rushmore is a no-fly zone. Nobody can fly a helicopter anywhere near Mount Rushmore. It's a violation of the FAA rules to do so. Well, she doesn't say it because she wants the money. She's willing to take a personal beating. Well, maybe Randy ought to hurry up and go over to the next life since that seems to be the best place to be. I mean, people want me to die over on that channel. Yeah, and again, here we go with the third person. Now, this account is supposed to be Randy, and yet Randy is in the third person. Guess who else talks in the third person about himself? Interesting. Yeah, but what it does is it indicates to me that there are some imposters behind these accounts, that it is nothing more than a propaganda base. It's funny, Marlene, when I saw that all these people were camped out at Dealey Plaza waiting for JFK Jr. to show up, I mean, there's some funny shit that comes out of these people. It's amazing. Well, yeah, that's the story is that they share the account, but I seem to think that neither one of them are doing the posting tonight. Um, I think that there's multiple people that are running that account. It could be as many as a dozen people that are running all of these accounts. I don't think Timmy's been on the air in 2 years, either in front of or behind the camera. He is just a figurehead. They are using his name, and he's just not around. And then when, this Gab account that's up and is a fake. And they've admitted it over on the various accounts that everybody that on Telegraph is saying that there's rampant impersonation going on. Well, Marlene, there's actually, we have it figured out that there are at least 6 people directly involved with the whole thing. Because remember, we've got Telegram. Um, we've got Telegram has databases, and the woman has actually admitted to running it. She's a Canadian. There's at least one Canadian person that she is so infatuated with Timmy, she went on a live chat and admitting to making love to her smartphone. She has a picture of Timmy on her smartphone and she enlarges it and kisses it. And so there's multiple, these are all shared accounts. And that's why, I don't think that Timmy is posting anything. I think he is running around the country or doing what he's doing and is staying off the air. They've told him, shut up and let us do the work. Yeah, I know a lot of people have turned, but there's this core group, very, very close knit group, that because of the money involved, they don't believe in the cause and they don't believe in the patriot movement or any of that. They're just, let me check. I thought I was on the air. Let me. Do. Testing 1, 2, 3. Oh, there I am. I have to check every once in a while because the software acts up, but the thing says I'm on the air, so I'm on the air. Well, I don't think her family wants her, according to information. Yeah, but is Infiltrated still loyal to Timmy? That's the question. Well, thanks. I just, for some reason, I got the no sound thing, and that means that sometimes I got to put up my little sound ring to see if I'm still here or not. Well, that might explain a few things about what's going on over on Telegram, but eventually this is all going to fall apart. You can't sustain this kind of a fraud, and eventually these people are going to turn on each other. And I think as each case that Randy initiates gets thrown out, they're going to see that these people don't know what the hell they're doing. Oh, she'll never do that. Yeah, that was probably the most interesting thing I've heard. Why someone would go on the internet and admit to something like that, I don't know. But, to each his own. But you know what they say about cell phones? That's, all those germs that are on those phones. Holy mackerel. Well, Alex. Yeah, there we go. Well, Alex, welcome to the show. And this is happening to the Q movement as a whole. Is that people are beginning to realize that this whole thing was a big fraud. I mean, these people have issues they're concerned with, and they thought they had found someone who not only agreed with them, but could do something about it. Well, Task Force, maybe Levi has things to do off the internet. Unlike you, people have life outside the internet. They aren't running around making up wild conspiracy theories, accusing innocent people of things that they didn't say or do. They are out living a normal life. You, on the other hand, are in this tiny little YouTube chat, gang stalking it. because you have nothing else to do. You have nowhere to go. This is, well, it would be 9:35 in Central Time, and rather than be out going to a football game, maybe out on the ice fishing, and all the things that can be done out there, you're in here gang stalking this channel, asking where everybody was. And where everybody is they are living their lives with their families and friends, and they're not hounding people on the internet. So there you go. That's where everybody is. That's a good question. Yeah, I don't know what the deal is with her and Levi. I mean, yeah, it's just, yeah, where's Brian? I mean, married couple, why don't you guys out having dinner or having drinks or ice fishing or doing married couple things? Well, that'd be another reason to go up there to cover that trial. But yeah. Yeah, but I got people, it's funny. I got people over on Telegram that want me to die. Say, die already. Yeah, these people are obsessed with death and hate. It's amazing. I guess it's time for them to make another video. Your last comment was 12 hours ago. So they'll have to, maybe they'll make another video attacking me. I wonder what this John Durham thing is all about. Oh, okay. Now, Task Force, you are the cult. Yeah. Well, here we go again. All Randy can do is make personal attacks against people instead of stating facts and things of any relevancy. Well, it's funny now. Task Force wants Marlene to stop, yet Task Force won't stop. Yeah, that's kind of hypocritical, I think, is a way of putting that. I guess that answers that. Should have put a comma in there. Yeah, still making personal attacks against Levi, who's not even in here. Oh, boy, we're getting vicious here. Got a regular cat fight going in here. This big almighty task force that's supposed to be rescuing all these kids is attacking a woman. It has nothing to do with anything. It's really weird. Doesn't say much for Donald Trump and his wife when they hire people like that. You know, that's why Randy's in here or whoever task force is because they think they can get away with slander and defamation. Well, it's because she has nowhere else. He, or it has no place to go. They come over here virtually every time. They'll record every second of this broadcast. They'll make a clip and it'll appear over on Telegram. They have made at least 100 videos with me as the primary subject over the past 10 years. They have over on his blog is a section dedicated solely to me. And Tim Homseth is not on assignment. He's basically, sponging off of people, couch surfing, and staying quiet under orders of his superiors. He has not been live on the air in years. The only time you see Homseth is when he's taking pictures of himself in front of buildings, signs, and yachts. Other than that, he's just oblivious to the world. So this. Oh, they can't prove it. They come up with every excuse in the book. That's kind of a funny one there. I like that. I could sit here and just put up the chat conversation all night. It makes the whole thing. Well, she doesn't care. That's the thing. She absolutely does not care. She's the most selfish person I've ever seen on the internet. Now, Tim has not been on the air, and the posts that you see are not made by him. He has a very specific and well known way of writing. And so you can spot it easily. Timmy is not doing anything on the high command page. It's all being done by surrogates, ghostwriters. So. Forensic linguistics is an interesting science, and when the time comes, they will be able to put together who is who, and then this will be part of the. Well, either I've gotten another one, or this stupid thing keeps sending me the same notification. Oh, we got another one. This is interesting. I'm being sent. Oh, hi, Jolly Bridge. Welcome. Oops, I didn't want that. Boy, I love how this material just falls into my lap. Just bear with me, folks. I'm bringing more material in the room. Now, this is more of homestead stupidity. Uh, this was posted just now over on his Gab channel. Evidence shows William Murtaugh of Apopka, Florida, is working in conspiracy and concert with a group of people who are going around impersonating federal agents. Now, this is another accusation. Uh, One of the group is named John Regan, who, according to multiple witnesses, claims to be an FBI agent and flashes a chaplain's badge at people. Now, there's a problem with this claim about John Regan. John Regan is dead. D-E-A-D. He has been dead for almost a decade. He died shortly after everything exploded at the Haley Cummings case. There's also evidence that a former U.S. attorney, Rudy Giuliani, is officially connected to John Regan through a letter of communication Giuliani issued to an alias John Regan used. Note, this fact is not going to look good for Giuliani. Oh, Leanne. Hillary Clinton associate Leanne Kruger and a host of others told me that John Regan claimed to be a CIA agent as well as an undercover pedophile for the FBI. Leanne Kruger told me on tape John Regan sold kidnapped babies and kids through the Ukrainian embassy in Washington, D.C. Leanne Kruger said they used fake medical records in church dossiers to move the babies out of the country. Leanne Kruger told me John Regan raped little boys until they bled. Well, again, the problem here is the guy is dead. He's been dead. So how can a dead guy, good night, Leanne, how can a dead guy be doing all this stuff? This is how idiotic these people are. And once again, I get mentioned. Timmy or whoever's running that thing over there is obsessed with the show. They are watching the show. And so, why did a Whitey Bulger sketch come out before Bulger was arrested that looked like William Murtaugh? When I'm curious about something, I'm going to do a little research here. Because this Bulger thing is really funny. Okay. Okay, according to this, uh, he was first arrested in June 22nd, 2011. January and December 23rd, 1994, Bulger fled the Boston area and went into hiding after his former FBI handler, John Connolly, tipped him off about a pending RICO indictment against him. Bulger remained at large for 16 years. Okay, this is 2011. We are now 2022. And the composite shot of Bulger would have come out sometime after 1994. Now, I was born in 1950, so that means that uh, I would have been 14 years old when this guy escaped prison, and since he was arrested in 2011, that means sometime between 1994 and 2011, so 14 to when I was maybe 50 years old. And, this is sure nonsense. I don't care if I look like this guy or not. I don't know why Tim Homestead even did this. But this is how weird this guy is. Oh, it's on Telegram? Ooh, I gotta check this out. I thought it was on Gab. They did just what I thought. They went and made another freaking video. Alright, let's go over there. Oh, Telegram. Okay, I can't get Telegram on the computer, so that'll... But... Yeah, it's... These people are so freaking stupid. Yeah. See, I don't know. Now, how does attacking Jeremiah solve any cases? I don't get these people, really. But they're hard up for attention. I mean, this. I mean, this is a whole much ado about nothing, actually. Uh, Now they don't. Nope, she's still here, or he's still here, or they're still here. So, oh, that'll never happen. You know, because it's conditional. She would have to give up all this conspiracy stuff in order to go back. And one thing I've heard is that she hasn't been doing much on her Facebook channel lately. I wonder why that is. I thought that was kind of weird. Yeah, this is someone that is supposed to be close to Melania, and yet, the Trump family cannot provide security for either one of these people. Think about that. Yeah, Tim Homestead is one man. There's one man between Tim and the president, former president of the United States. Uh, Randy is supposed to be real close to Melania and Donald, and yet they can't get security. They have to do this weird stuff. But when she files her legal paperwork in Minnesota, both in the state and federal courts, she puts down her Minnesota address in Ada County. And she is going to have to appear in court at some point, either as the defendant or the plaintiff. Simple as that. So oh jeez. Now she's attacking Montegraph. Just more false accusations. People need really tall boots to wade through all the shit she puts out. Well, Jolly Bridge, facts is something that is alien to Randy. She doesn't believe in facts. She doesn't believe in the truth. Yeah, it's coming up in mid-April. I wholeheartedly agree, uh, Jolly Bridge. That's been the problem from the beginning. She only knows what Tim feeds her, and so she perpetuates the same lies that he tells her. She knows absolutely nothing about me. And because she knows nothing about me, she makes things up. This I stated it before that these people know nothing about my true background, and they go out and they say, "Oh, I'm claiming to be some kind of an agent for the FBI or some nonsense." So that just idiotic in its own in that respect. Well, I'm not sure of that one. Maybe he did. I don't know. I find that if he did, he did. But I personally, I'd have to have proof of that because I don't trust David Strait all that much either. Yeah. David Strait says a lot of things, and David Strait has now found himself having to cooperate allegedly with the feds because of Tim Holmseth and his annex. So they visited one of his seminars and questioned him about the stolen valor situation, and that can lead to wire fraud. And so he may have decided that it's in his best interest to throw himself against Holmseth and company to save his ass. But, a lot of people make a lot of claims. David Street makes claims that he can't, this is a guy that believes that JFK Jr. is alive. So that doesn't put much stock into anything that he says and why I can't believe anything he said. Well, there was Vice did that article, and they can't find anything to verify David Straight's records. Not a darn thing. So, David Straight is right up there with the alleged internet frauds. Yeah, but there's people that believe this crap. Yeah. Oh, this is a new one. No, Task Force. Levi is not Agent 19. You don't know that, so you just have to make this crap up out of thin air. And you don't like Agent 19 because Agent 19 tells the truth. And you don't like Levi because Levi tells the truth. You and your associates are nothing more than liars and frauds. Well, I agree, Joker. The whole thing is stupid. Yeah, I remember saying statements to that effect because she knew she could make money off it. There's people that are gullible enough to believe that crap, and you know, and this is why you don't see him anywhere. Yep, Task Force, that's what you are. You are the world of international traffickers. You project your guilt onto others in order to throw suspicion off of you. But I would suggest that if more thorough investigations were done of the task force and those who are part of it, we might find the true pedophiles and child traffickers in this country. And it wouldn't at all surprise me that task force is directly involved in the trafficking of children. I mean, you got all these yachts that Tim Holmseth was looking at. Maybe it's Tim that's helping with the child trafficking. I mean, we have Cynthia Absug in the same area as where these boats are located. So, I would suggest that an investigation be launched into who bought these yachts and see if they can backtrace them to Tim Holmseth and the other people. I mean, he brags about the yachts. His profile has a picture of a yacht. So he's basically creating his own evidence against him. So the question has to be, is Tim Holmseth a child trafficker? Or is he an enabler of child trafficking by preventing other people from researching this problem? Yeah, you'd think he'd be able to see his daughter and the kids because they are not in the state of Minnesota. Um, but there's been no record that Tim has seen his daughter and children and grandchildren in quite a long time. Uh, Actually, there might be a possibility of that's what's going on. There is a woman supposedly paying $4,000 a month to these two, um, and that may be um, who's behind this new underground railroad of mothers that are having problems with CPS. The one thing that I always have wondered is if CPS had gotten involved with Casey Anthony and Kaylee Anthony, if that little girl would be alive today, because there was no intervention by CPS at the time that Casey Anthony was going through all this nonsense uh, in the years leading up to whatever happened to Kaylee Anthony. That's one of these things that I've always wondered about. And the same holds true, actually, of Haley Cummings. CPS was not involved all that much with Haley Cummings. And so if there had been intervention there, maybe Haley Cummings would be alive. It seems to be all these children that disappear or are otherwise missing is because there is no intervention by CPS. So you got to wonder the possibility that these children could have been saved if there had been intervention by somebody. Yep, you did. You said it out loud. Yeah, that's quite correct, Joker. I'm in the situation I'm in because of the defamation and slander that's been made against me and continues to be made against me by Timmy and Randy and all these extremists over on BitChute, Telegram, and Gab. Well, Charlie, I don't know if they ever will. I don't think they care. These are incredibly selfish people. Uh, they are out for their own fame and glory and wealth, as such as it is, and they simply don't care what people go through because of these stupid allegations. They just keep it up. They've been told, they know, and they don't care. It's just like the Russians. They go around indiscriminately killing innocent children, their parents, and civilians, and they don't care. These are very brutal people over there. And Tim Holmseth and Randy Erickson support these people. They've declared it on here tonight. They support Vladimir Putin and Russia. These people have no soul. They have um, no conscience. So they just will keep doing this forever. The thing of it is, there's too many people like them. There's, you know, QAnon is made up of these kind of people. These are people that they feel that they can say or do anything they damn well please, and it doesn't matter if it's the truth or not. And 99.9% of the time, it is lies. And there was a recognition made that um, there are millions of people out there. Yeah, I understand, Jolly. I've had to put up with this stuff for years. My full name, my telephone number, my street address, everything is out there. And they just recently posted it again. Is that I think they're hoping that one of their followers will come up to this house and shoot me dead. There's people over on Telegram that have told me, die. So, it's these are seriously ill people out there. Yeah, they definitely are hypocrites. Um, and we are going through extremely dangerous times right now in the world. Well, it's not anymore. Geopolitics is something that in the early parts we could have heated and respectful discussions, arguments, debates, what have you, about our various points of view on the issues at hand. That's no longer possible. This country has come so divided, and so has the world actually, that you cannot discuss controversial issues without being targeted by people like Timothy Homseth and the PPTF. You just can't do it. And until there are consequences for the kind of actions these people partake in, it's going to continue. It's as simple as that. There needs to be accountability. Now, Canada and the United Kingdom and most of Europe have stronger laws when it comes to defamation and slander, but the United States, because of our so-called First Amendment, it's very difficult to have criminal prosecutions in these matters. It is possible, but it's very difficult. And so unfortunately, we have to live with this nonsense. I'll tell you what, folks. I think I'm gonna call it a night. Uh, I might be on the air tomorrow night. I don't know yet. My personal schedule has gotten extremely heavy, and it's getting difficult for me to do these broadcasts. Saturday night is generally the only time that I'm going to have to be for certain of doing the streams. Sundays, a possibility of doing streams, but it's looking like I will no longer be doing live streams on Fridays because it's just with the situations that are going on in my heavy schedule during the week. I just can't make it on. I can't make it on the air in time. I was supposed to go on the air at 9 o'clock last night, and I didn't get back to the house until almost 10:30. So I appreciate everybody tuning in. Please like, subscribe, share, and hit the notifications. Anytime there's breaking news or any matter of importance, I will come on the air somehow and report on it, even if it's just a brief update. I'm always on Twitter, so if you go over to Mert Witness 1 on Twitter, you can follow me over there. You may not like my politics, but I will have updates on things that I will break on Twitter first before I break them on here. And so, with that, I wish you all well. Have a good night. Um, Task Force, if you're listening, I really wish you would find a conscience, live up to your so-called faith that you have in following the faith 10 commandments, and start telling the truth. Because, as you said, you are going to cross over into the other plane of existence since you believe that, and you will have to account to God with what you've been doing to people down here on earth. You may be able to fool all of us, but you cannot fool God. So, good night, stay well, all of you, and have a good one. Bye bye.